You need an air source to run your airbrush. Let's talk compressors. You know, over the last 27 years, I've gone through my fair share of compressors. It's one of those things where I wish I knew then what I know now, because I'd probably save myself a lot of money in the long run. A compressor is an investment. Chances are you're going to spend more of your hard-earned money on your compressor than you will on your first airbrush. And all the information that I'm providing here is geared more toward just running your airbrush. If you want to run a paint gun or even a mini gun, you're going to need a bigger compressor to run those guns efficiently. One of the great things about an airbrush is it doesn't require a lot of air to run the brush. The downside to that is there are hundreds, if not thousands, of very small compressors with either a single piston or dual pistons. Some have a tank, some don't, that are available for purchase that are specifically marketed for airbrush use. Some of these small compressors are relatively inexpensive and some are not. So how do you choose the right compressor? It pretty much comes down to your needs and what you plan to do with your airbrush. If you plan to paint scale models, your air requirements will be far less as opposed to someone who wants to paint art on canvas for an hour or two at a time. So I started out with one of those little bitty inexpensive single piston designed specifically for an airbrush compressors. And it worked okay, but knowing what I know now, it was far from ideal. Here's the reality when it comes to those compressors. They will run your brush. The problem is, even though your airbrush requires very little air to run, those small compressors have to run constantly just to meet that minimal demand. Remember the number one rule in airbrushing: keep the air on. If you keep the air on, then that compressor is going to be running continuously. Even the compressors with an external tank. And again, I'm still talking about just the small, specifically designed for an airbrush compressors. Even the ones with a tank are still only designed to provide just enough air to run the airbrush. That's it. That's why they run continuously. Another issue with these compressors is they are air cooled. They build up heat when they run continuously, which creates wear on internal parts, and it also creates moisture that condensates in the tank if it has a tank, and it will also condensate in your airline. Eventually, that moisture will work its way through the airline, through your brush, and onto your artwork, which can create problems. So I don't recommend using one of those small compressors. And again, it depends on your needs, and it may even depend on your budget. And don't get me wrong, if that's your only option, it will work, but I would strongly recommend using a moisture trap. This is a moisture trap. This is an Iwata model. It just threads directly onto your airbrush hose. It has a little check valve, so you can release any moisture that builds up in there. That will at least keep the moisture from going through your brush and ruining your artwork. I just use a quick connect at the end to attach it to the brush. It's also an Iwata product. I'll leave links to these in the description. I would also advise you to let the compressor cool after about 15 to maybe 30 minutes of continuous use when you're using one of those small compressors. Now, me personally, I didn't learn my lesson the first time. I went through and burned up a couple of those little specifically designed for airbrush compressors, and each time I bought another one, I upgraded, or at least I thought I was upgrading. So anyway, I wound up buying an Iwata PowerJet Pro, which is a relatively expensive air compressor for airbrush use. And I thought my troubles were over. I was wrong. I love Iwata's airbrushes, but I wasn't a fan of their compressors. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's not a quality product. The problem is it's the same basic design as all the other small airbrush compressors. It's designed to put out just enough air to run the brush, so it still runs constantly, and it creates a lot of moisture when used for long periods of time. So it didn't meet the requirements for my needs. So what do I recommend? I found an aluminum twin tank air compressor similar to this to be the best budget-friendly option, in my opinion. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can get one of these, and I used one of these for a little over 10 years with zero issues. I also found that I no longer needed to use a moisture trap with that compressor. You'll still have to drain the tank occasionally, but I can paint for 6 to 8 hours easily with no problems. It's still an air-cooled compressor, so it was somewhat noisy, and I realize noise is subjective, but it's rated at 60 decibels, which was completely bearable for me to use in my studio. And it didn't run constantly like the smaller Airbrush specific compressors do. It'll kick on for a minute or two when the tank needs to be replenished, and then it kicks itself back off. So here's a clip just to give you an idea of the noise level. Not horrible in my opinion. And the way I had my studio set up at the time was the compressor was at my feet and the camera was pretty much directly above the compressor. So that may have sounded a little bit louder on camera than it did, I don't know. But my studio also tends to bounce sound off of everything. I don't have carpet or anything else like that in here. So if you have carpet, or maybe place the compressor further from your workstation, that would also alleviate some of the noise. Now, if you have the budget and you're serious about airbrushing, you can take it to another level. I eventually upgraded to a Silent Air 50T. This is the Terry Hill model and it's rated at 42 decibels. Here's a clip. It's pretty quiet. So it's an oil-cooled compressor, which is far better for internal wear as well as the noise. And I have no doubt that this compressor will outlive me. So I wish I would have bought one of these long before I did. Just on an end note, I realize there are other air supply sources available besides air compressors out there. For example, the aerosol propellant cans. I've never tried any of those. I can't imagine that it would be a good option for a serious airbrush artist because you're going to run out of air relatively quickly, I would imagine. But there's also CO2 tanks. Again, I've never tried the CO2 tank. The biggest advantage I see with the CO2 is it would be super quiet. But what always steered me away from it is the fact that you're going to eventually run out of air. You're going to have to go get it filled. And I never wanted to mess with the hassle or the expense of having to refill air. And if you're like me, Murphy's always around the corner. I'm going to run out of air in the middle of the night on a tight deadline, and so there's that. But I believe they hold about 3,000 psi, so it may last a while, it may not, I don't know. So those are other options you can use if you like. And these are just my opinions, guys. It's all based on my own experience and what I've found works for me. So hopefully it helps you out. In the next video, we will look at some other items that are not necessarily needed for airbrushing, but are kind of nice to have. And then we'll get into some actual exercises and all that. So again, I'll leave links in the description below to everything we've talked about in this video, and we'll see you guys next time.